Okay, everyone, I think we are ready to get started. So, welcome to our first evening with the candidates event of 2026. Tonight, we're featuring our candidates for Adams County Assessor with Angel Murtaugh and Jake Drinka, as well as Adams County Sheriff candidates Kevin Mock and Heath A. Lemke. We would like to extend a warm welcome to our candidates and to all of you for attending tonight. So, thank you for joining us this evening. We are fortunate to have strong candidates for these important elected positions, and we're proud to provide opportunities like this for our community to meet and hear from them. The Hastings Area Chamber of Commerce, Hastings Economic Development Corporation, and Legislative Committee have prepared a series of questions that will be asked of each candidate. To help the event run smoothly and ensure that we have time to cover all questions, we ask that you please follow a few ground rules. Please remain seated and quiet throughout the forum. We ask that there be no audience applause or no positive or negative comments during the forum. Any audience member who is unable to follow these guidelines or is disruptive may be asked to leave. Time has been allocated for 2 questions from the audience to be asked for each group of candidates. So we have our cards over there. If any questions arise during the forum, please make sure to write that question on that card and raise it up. And then one of our volunteers will come around and grab it, and 2 will be selected for each group of candidates. As we mentioned, we have a series of questions prepared. We will rotate which candidate answers first with each question. The candidates will be given 2 minutes to answer questions and 3 minutes for their introductory statement. There are 4 cards to give candidates a warning for their time: a 2-minute, 1-minute, 30-second, and stop card. With that, we thank all of you for coming, and I'm going to turn it over to Chris Shukai, who is our moderator for the evening, to begin the forum. But first, candidates, do you have any questions regarding the event tonight?
Yes. Where will those cards flash up? Thank you.
Perfect. Okay.
And we will invite you also to, you can see on your microphones there, and you want to bring it, you can bring those closer to you. And when you hit the button and the red light's on, your microphone is on. It's a wonderful system. So we will encourage you to use those microphones as you do your answers, please, tonight, so that everybody in our audience can hear you. Timer, if you are ready. Beth's really going to be the heavy on this, but I will stop you when she puts that red card up. I will interrupt you and sometimes mid-sentence, so please be watchful of time, but my goal will be to be as fair as possible to everybody. And with that said, let's get ourselves started. Our first part will be an introductory statement. Each candidate will give you, you'll have 3 minutes for this introductory statement, and this is as open-ended as you'd like it to be. But some thoughts. You can include why you're running, your qualifications, and what you hope to achieve in the role. And we will start with the assessor candidates, and we will start with Angel Murtaugh. Angel, your time is now.
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity for me to be here tonight. My name is Angel Murtaugh. I am currently serving as your Adams County Assessor. I was appointed to this position based on my experience and the knowledge of the software that Adams County is bringing into this the county right now. This is a transition that is critical to the future of our efficiency in the county and to the accuracy of our office. You may hear tonight my opponent say that he has lived here most of his life, or all of his life. I do appreciate that. I would like to say that I chose to come to Adams County to serve the people here, and I came here to do the work and to bring my experience to ensure that this office runs with fairness, accuracy, and a credibility for everyone. When I stepped into the role into this office, Adams County was very severely ready to be in jeopardy of being out of compliance with the state of Nebraska. We were over 3,000 parcels behind, which is critical on our timelines and our credibility with the state. Since that happened, I stepped into the role. I took a focused effort, strong leadership, and we and my team have gotten that number down to under 500, which has brought us back into compliance with the state. This kind of progress does not happen by mistake. It takes leadership, experience, and a determination to get the job done. This role is about ensuring that our property values are fair and equalized across the county. Something I want to make clear that I hear often, the assessor's office is not responsible for setting taxes. Taxes are based on your levy. Those levies are the funding is brought to through the schools, fire department, and other government agencies. I'm just here to make sure that the values are fair and equalized across the board. I have shown experience, leadership, and results so far. I would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Angel. Next up, with 3 minutes for their introductory statement, is County Assessor candidate Jake Jarzinka.
Please, before we start, to make sure your microphone is pulled down fairly close to your mouth, just so we can hear you.
Everybody here? There we go. Okay, my name is Jake Jarzinka. As was stated, I am originally from here, been here my whole life. Currently running for county assessor. The assessor's role is to essentially put a value on every property, both real and personal property in the county. We're to find that in an equal manner that is fair to everyone in the county. A little background, I spent 12 years in the construction industry doing everything from swinging a hammer to designing and engineering structural components to even doing construction sales. When it comes to buildings, I know what's involved in the construction. I know what good quality construction looks like. I know what poor quality looks like. That's very key in assessing the value of every building in the county. A little more about me. Like I said, from here. Have a wife that teaches in town. Have 2 little boys. They are going to be 3 in May. They're twins. So I am fully invested in this county. Plan on raising them here and living out my rest of my life here. When it comes to the county assessor, I think that we should really open up the doors and educate the public on how we do things. I want to encourage people to come into the office, and if they have an issue with our evaluations, we can go through the appeal process. I can walk them through that, teach them how to do it properly. I want you to be able to come in, understand how we do it. If something's wrong, we can get it fixed. Maybe it's not wrong, and we can just sit down and you can have better knowledge on why it is the way it is. I appreciate everyone's support in the county. I've had a lot of good talks with people, and really think there's a lot of potential for doing things properly in this office and accurately. Thank you.
Thank you, Jake. Next up will be County Sheriff candidate Kevin Mock.
My name is Kevin Mock. I'm been with the Sheriff's Office for 35 years. Has done everything from road patrol, some investigations, community policing officer, and for the last 7 years, I've been the chief deputy under the direction of Sheriff John Rust. I'm married, have 3 adult daughters, 6 grandchildren, and reason I'm running is I enjoy the job. I've been at it a while, and I would like to continue to move our office and upgrade some of the equipment within the vehicles and office, and continue to bring the integrity that Sheriff John Rustin Sheriff McGee before him had with our department. And the reason I'm running is I enjoy the job and have done it for a while. And I'm not much for talking in front of a bunch of people, I guarantee you that. So if you got questions for me, you can ask them afterwards, and that's pretty much it.
Thank you, Kevin. Next up will be County Sheriff candidate Heath Lemke.
I'm Heath Lemke, and I'm a candidate for the Adams County Sheriff. I was born and raised here in Hastings, Nebraska. I attended Hastings Public Schools. I'm a lifelong member of Faith Lutheran Church, where I was baptized, confirmed, and married my high school sweetheart, Danya. Danya is vice president here in town at Heartland Bank. We have 4 children. My oldest, Blaze, is married. They live in Washington, D.C. My next oldest boy, Dylan, lives in Chicago. And then we have 2 at home, Brand, that's a sophomore at Hastings High School, and Drake, that's a 3rd grader at Longfellow Elementary. I started at Adams County Sheriff's Office in 1999 as a corrections communications officer. Shortly thereafter, I was appointed the training officer for that division. 2001, I applied for and was appointed to an open deputy slot, and where I was assigned to road patrol and civil process duties. Those duties I carried out for roughly the same schedule and same duties for about 18 years. 2005, I became the taser instructor, which was the new technology at the time, and I've carried out those duties ever since. Certified field training officer, and was appointed as a sergeant, road patrol sergeant, evening supervisor in 2022. I've been 2007, the Development Services Department here at the city asked me to become a member of the Board of Appeals, and I've been on that board ever since. I was appointed under, not even sure the mayor at the time, but anyhow, I've served and been reappointed by 3 or 4 mayors now, I think, since 2007. 2015, I was elected chair of that board after the then chair retired. I was a member, I'm a class of 2011, 2012 alumni of Leadership Hastings. And I've been a career-long member of the Fraternal Order of Police, Lodge 12, which comprises of the employees primarily of Adams County, both corrections and the sworn deputies. In 2015, I was elected president, and I've been reelected numerous times since then. I've served as their president since 2015. And I'm proud to announce that I just received notice that the membership voted by secret ballot and have voted to endorse me in the candidacy for sheriff. I appreciate your vote on May 12th. Thank you.
Thank you. Our first question tonight will go to the county assessor candidates. And Jake, we will start with you. The question is, what is your approach to ensuring fair, consistent, and transparent property valuations across the county and addressing concerns with those who feel their valuations may be inaccurate or inconsistent? You have 2 minutes, and you may begin now.
With the issues that people might have, like I said, I want them to come in. I want to sit down with them. We can look at everything on their parcels that they have, whether that be a commercial building, a residential house, or an agricultural property. I would love to sit down and talk with them and walk through the process on how we grade everything, how the condition and qualities affect every single property. And just being open and honest with everyone. We have neighborhoods set up that they need to know what all is in those neighborhoods, what all goes into adjusting those markets, and how the real estate market is affecting how we evaluate every property.
Thank you. Angel, I'll repeat the question quick. Your approach to ensuring fair, consistent, and transparent property valuations across the county and addressing concerns with those who feel their valuations may be inaccurate or inconsistent. Your 2 minutes begin now.
Sorry about that. First, I'd like to invite anybody to come in from the county to look at their record card. We want to make sure that our information is correct on what you have on your property. We would sit down with you and go over your record card to ensure that all the information that we have is accurate. If there is something wrong, we would love to come out and check, make sure that we have everything right, and I'd send my appraisal team. Jake is a great appraiser. I would love to send him out and help figure out where we might have dropped the ball. It is possible. We're all human. Things can be missed. Also, I do want you to know that the state governs how values are determined throughout the county. The state then tells us which areas our sales market ratio areas are low and which areas are high. And so we have to adjust those based on that. There's more to the assessor's job than going out and just assessing your property to make sure that everything's right. But I understand, as being a property owner, you want to make sure your information is right. But there's a whole process to that, and I'm willing to sit down with each person individually and let you know how the state determines that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next question is for the sheriff's candidates. Heath, we will start with you on this one. What do you see as the top public safety challenges facing Adams County over the next 5 to 10 years, and how would you address them? You have 2 minutes that begin now.
Thank you. Well, probably the top challenge with any law enforcement agency right now is recruitment. Recruitment of qualified help for the certified side of it. The jails receive plenty of applications, and that they're fully staffed. They do pretty good on that side, but we're struggling on the law enforcement side. Back in, I don't know the numbers exactly, but say back when I applied in 2001, there might have been maybe 15, 20 applicants for the one open spot. And now we struggle to get 5 or 6, and a couple of them are questionable upon receipt. And we would hire 3 to 5 maybe if we could. So the recruitment, retention, getting quality people hired. We do have a very experienced staff, which has some great benefits, but also looking down the road, there's a number of them that are going to be hitting that retirement age. So that's our biggest challenge right now. Technology is going to be another one. The amount the jobs changed in the last 20 years, I could easily anticipate that we see that much change in the next 10 or sooner maybe. So I think those are kind of the aspects, kind of keeping up with the trends, the technology, but being able to justify when it makes sense to act on those new technologies. That'll be the balance that has to be taken into consideration.
Thank you. Kevin, you're next. I'll repeat the question again. What do you see as the top public safety challenges facing the county, and how would you address them?
On this one, I would agree with Heath on this, hiring qualified individuals to fill the positions that we have open. There's been numerous times we've gone through the hiring process and everyone has washed out. And in talking to other agencies throughout the state, they're running across the same problem of getting qualified individuals hired for it. That is a number one thing. I would like to see us look at a couple of different avenues on that. But the next thing I see is has to do with budget restraints, and that has to do with training budgets and trying to keep up with all the changing times of the training that has all increased and has gotten a lot more expensive within the budgets, which also affects all the taxpayers through that. Thank you.
We will go back to the assessor candidates for our next question. And Angel, we will start with you on this one. What experience prepares you to manage a highly technical office with legal and financial implications? And you can also, if you want to, expound a little bit on tools and technologies that you believe could improve the accuracy and efficiency of the assessor's office. Your 2 minutes will begin now.
Thank you for this question. I appreciate it. I have 7 years' experience in Washington County that I bring behind me as walking into the Adams County Assessor's role. There are many different levels or different cogs, as you might want to say, in the assessor's office besides appraisal. There's different areas. We have homestead exemption, we have permissive exemption, we have the airport reports. There's a whole slew of things that the assessor's office is in charge of besides the appraisal part. I'm well-rounded. I have some knowledge on everything. I am proficient in the software that we are bringing into Adams County. The reason that we are bringing this software in is to help us between the offices use the same software so that the computers talk friendly to each other. And MIPS programming is also a state program system where they use, they're in compliance with everything that the state is using and requires. And I am proficient in that, and I am ready to lead my team in that. I'm excited for the change on that because it'll bring accuracy, because it's less work than the current system that they are using right now.
Thank you. Jake, I'll repeat the question for you. What experience prepares you to manage a highly technical office with legal and financial implications? And what tools or technologies do you believe could improve the accuracy and efficiency of the assessor's office? Your 2 minutes begin now.
Yes, as far as experience goes, I've been a coach for sports for quite a few years, so leadership-wise, leading a team is one of the skills that I have. When it comes to the technology, I've spoken with the firm that's bringing in our new software. We are excited to, we're going to be able to do a lot more work out in the field and have that immediately go to our computers. Should translate very well. It's a system they're working on. Hopefully it should be up and running before the end of the year. Another thing that I've looked into, and I've had discussions with some other assessors across the state, is maybe looking into, and we have to abide by certain rules and everything, but maybe looking into drone technology to help get a better look at a parcel so we can have a better idea as to what we're looking at. Due to certain things that have happened across the states, we are not able to go out and do our full measurements that we were accustomed to doing over the past. Now we go up, we see if someone's home, get permission if we can do measurements. So getting a drone that would help out with that. Also, we currently do aerial shots, and those happen only once every 3 years. So getting that to hopefully find somewhere in the budget where we can do that more often, because construction happens very fast. Those are just some ways of using technology to help improve the office.
Thank you very much. Back to our sheriff candidates. Kevin, we will start with you on this question. Which priorities would guide your leadership of the sheriff's office, and what steps would you take to accomplish them? Your 2 minutes start now.
I believe the priorities, as I mentioned earlier, would be training and bringing that up to more hours. Every year we're seeing more. Right now we're required to do 32 hours of training per officer per year, and I'd like to see that even brought up more than that. Priorities, interacting with the public and being more involved out there in the public would be another area that I would like to see as a priority. Integrity is one thing that I believe in, and we need to be being able to talk to the public and be able to direct them what they can and what is needed and what isn't needed within the laws. I believe those are some of the things that I see. Thank you.
Thank you. Heath, I'll repeat the question for you. Priorities, again, that would guide your leadership of the Sheriff's Office and the steps you would take to accomplish them. Your 2 minutes starts now.
Well, it's going to kind of sound like a broken record a little bit, but our biggest issue is recruitment of law enforcement officers on the law enforcement side. I think we need to, one avenue that needs to be explored or utilized more thoroughly is to recruit some of the help that they've got out the jail. It gives you, in the past, some of our best officers have come out of the jail, in my opinion. I think we need to take advantage of that resource. It gives you an opportunity. You've kind of seen their work ethic, their reliability, their aptitude. So maybe developing some more programs to encourage or ease that transition where they've had plenty of applications and have a full staff, that we can maybe pick one off there every so often. That's definitely a priority because, like I said, we do have a senior staff, which has great benefits, but we got to be prepared to replace some people as they get closer to retirement age.
Thank you very much. Back to the assessor candidates. Jake, we will start with you on this one. And you've addressed a little bit about this in your previous answers, but expand on this a little bit. Of how do you plan to work with constituents to build trust as a county leader while navigating the challenges of the role? Your 2 minutes starts now, Jake.
I believe trust is built by having respect for each other, and believe the people I've talked with across the states, we all understand what we're struggling with and where we need help at. So there's pretty good resources for us all to connect and share those problems, and maybe somebody has that answer. I've dealt with I've talked with a few, like I said, some of the assessors across the state, and I've been helping out with coming up with some writing to help get some legislation done to maybe ease some of the things that we do in our offices.
Thank you, Jake. Angel, again, how do you plan to work with constituents to build trust as a county leader while navigating the challenges of the role? Your 2 minutes begin now.
At the end of the day, trust is, this role is based on trust. And I need to have trust within the office and within other assessors. I currently go to central district meetings. I just last week went to the legislative meeting in Kearney, where John Cannon spoke about the new bills that are coming through, and met with some of them about the new things coming down the pipeline. The no trespassing that was passed by the the state attorney, state general attorney. I'm sorry, I can't think of the name right at the moment. I am struggling with vertigo right now, but he put a no trespassing, which really limits our job. Our job is to go make sure everything is accurate, and when we are not able to do our job, it makes everything, we're guessing, and we don't want to guess. It matters to you that our records are right, and it matters to us that our records are right. So going and hearing how the legislative and how the Congress and John Cannon is bringing bills before the board to get some things changed so that assessors are able to do our job and represent the people better. It is nice to be on part of those boards.
Thank you, Angel. Sheriff's candidates. The great news about this last question is it can apply to any office. So, Heath, we will start with you on this one, but how do you plan to work with constituents to build trust as a county leader while navigating the challenges of the role? Your 2 minutes start now.
Well, I think just being out and about within the community and encouraging the officers to do that. I think our department has a fairly good reputation as far as that goes. We encourage our deputies currently to attend the Adams Central Hastings High basketball game or the Kennesaw football game or so on and so forth. And even attend school functions for their children and so forth, with the caveat that if duty calls, you got to go. So continuing that type of philosophy, and then just having kind of an open door policy as far as being available to pick up the phone or have people be able to come in and if they got a concern, feel like they can reach out and let's sort it out.
And Kevin, your plan to work with constituents and navigating the challenges of the role. Your 2 minutes will start now.
I with Heath on this one is that we do have officers who patrol the villages and do the schools and everything. And it's not uncommon for people to even stop by my house and ask me questions or call my cell phone, which is all the time. I think that letting them know what is going on, I believe that a more open, even in today's world, is the social media stuff, and I'd like to see more social media within our office with a department account to be able to open that up to more, even when the weather's bad and we need to give road conditions like that. And I believe that the communications to the public is your best source, is just being out there and talking to them.
Thank you very much. Sydney, I'll look to you for an update on audience questions.
Yes, I think Chuck is bringing those over right now.
Okay.
So we'll.
And the first ones will be for assessors. Okay. You're going to count on me to read handwriting. I like that, Chuck. Thank you. This one will be for the assessors. And Angel, we will start with you on this one. How would you suggest communication with both local and national businesses could improve beyond just getting a letter that your assessed value greatly increased and in some cases have doubled? Angel, your 2 minutes start now.
I believe that a personal phone call is better than a letter in the mail. You can have a letter in the mail, but I think it should be something that we reach out to the entity in question and invite them in to sit down and discuss why this happened and how to maybe, again, there are errors can be made, and maybe we need to sit down and discuss it, or just having open communication. I do currently ask my staff to pick up the phone and call the commercial building, or pick up the phone and reach out to somebody rather than just waiting on a response to an email. An email response can get lost. They can get sunk in the emails and with the busyness of the day. So I believe picking up a phone call, having a voice on the other line, reaching out to the entity and having open communication is the best way to stop panic. That could cause panic if it doubled. So, thank you.
Thank you. Jake, I'll repeat the question again. How would you suggest communication with both local and national businesses that can improve beyond just getting a letter that your assessed value greatly increased and in some cases has doubled? Your 2 minutes begins now.
Well, first of all, I think we need to have clear and concise information in those letters that do go out, so that way they can understand what is going on. As far as the commercial businesses go, once again, I'll agree with Angel, a phone call to them would help out in explaining what's going on. It's hard to catch some of it all the time, but if we can catch it beforehand, maybe, like she said, giving a phone call and explaining it would be great. And then walking people through an appeal process, whether that be for a business or for your personal property or even just for your homes, walking through that and explaining how, we do everything and how, if the information is incorrect, how to properly fill out that protest form. This last summer when we did protests in June, I don't have the exact amount, but it was around 80% that I was able to come with for value agreements, working with both homes and businesses. Primarily, I do a lot of the commercial properties around here, and I have been doing that for the past year, and I've had great response from all of them.
Thank you very much. We will move with audience questions to the sheriff's candidates. Kevin, we will start with you. And the question is, what is the plan for the future of training your deputies to handle modern events or crisis? Your 2 minutes begin now.
Could you repeat the last part?
I can, yes.
Events?
The future of training your deputies to handle modern events or crisis. Crises, plural, I guess.
As I mentioned earlier, the training is a key thing, and I believe that budget restraints have often brought down the amount of money that's needed to complete that. Training budgets need to be, as a taxpayer, I understand it also, the amount of monies that are spent on taxes, but training our law enforcement is an area where we need to increase it and train with, we've worked with some with the police department on some training, and I've discussed that with Chief Story on that. We need to bring up the amount of times, but also with that, as you're doing training, somebody has to be on the road, so it does eat into overtime finances also. So I believe that our budget needs to be brought up to meet those needs, which in the end, if you don't have it, ends up being litigation. Thank you.
Thank you. Heath, I'll repeat the question. The plan for the future of training your deputies to handle modern events or crises. Your 2 minutes start now.
Yeah, I think it's less about the quantity of training and more about the quality of training. I mean, I think if we can get somebody that's responsible for coordinating, looking ahead, getting some events planned throughout the year, I think there's a lot of cooperation that can be done, not only with the Hastings Police Department, but the State Patrol and other surrounding agencies, Grand Island, Kearney, so on. Some of the scales agencies. There's a lot of equipment, resources available through the scales that it would be good for the everyday road deputy to be familiar with and know that resource is available, and maybe not necessarily become an expert in how to utilize it, but just know its capabilities and so forth. We need to get back to sending at least every deputy at least to one quality training, whether it's out of town or whatever it takes, wherever it might be, at least a one good quality class per year. I don't think that's asking a whole lot. We can then utilize what they learned in that 2, 3, 4, maybe week-long class to kind of come back and give a Cliff's Notes version to the other officers as a way to kind of keep up to date and spread the knowledge of the current trends.
Thank you. We will return to the assessor candidates. And again, Question from the audience. Jake, we will start with you on this one. Heard that Adams County is 5 years behind on assessing value. With property value a hot topic, how is the value accurate? Jake, your 2 minutes start now.
We are not 5 years behind. I don't know where they got that information from, but we are pretty close to being up to date on everything. We are all caught up on the residential side, and we're just getting caught up on the ag side of things, but we're not 5 years behind. The office altogether has put in a lot of work and hours on making sure that we are well caught up. As far as that all goes, if we were far behind with some of the data, then obviously that would skew how things were graded, and then when we were to do a cost adjustment, that would greatly increase some values. We haven't had that issue yet, and I'm hoping that we never come to that issue because we should be able to stay up to date with all of our valuations.
Thank you. Angel, I'll read it again. Heard that Adams County is 5 years behind on assessing value. With property value a hot topic, how is the value accurate? Your 2 minutes begin now.
That is what I came into in Adams County. I believe when I spoke with the team and my lead appraiser, I was told that we were working on stuff from 2019. To me, that is behind. That's where I stepped in. I opened up hours for my team to come in and get us caught up. When I stepped into this role, there was a big lack of urgency in my office. Since then, I have been able to open up the time and ask my team to step up and help get those parcels up to date. We were facing being not in compliance in Adams County, and we were facing a fine. But as the work that I put forth, working with the state to try to get some stuff set up so that we would not fall behind and get that fine, which is a large fine, we have been able to get caught up, and we are sitting at under 300 parcels now. When I took the position on January 20th, we were over 3,028 parcels behind, and now we are under 300.
Thank you. We'll continue with audience questions. This one is for the sheriff's candidates. Heath, we will start with you. The question is, why do you think people from police and the sheriff's department are leaving Hastings? Your 2 minutes begin now.
Well, isn't that the million-dollar question? I don't know of people from, there are lots of agencies providing some significant hiring bonuses and other incentives because they're, again, law enforcement agencies across the state are struggling with retention and recruitment with qualified individuals. So anybody that doesn't have them, they're doing whatever they can to recruit from wherever they can recruit. I don't know as if we've necessarily at either the police department or the sheriff's office have had a big spike or maybe anything different than any other agencies are experiencing. It's just a limited number of people that right now appear to be interested in being in the law enforcement profession and that are also qualified to do so. And I think each situation is different. There's some that have left to the private sector. There's some have left to go to other agencies, likely because of incentives. But overall, I think we're, we do okay there. We've got a fairly senior staff, and I think that's also kind of a display of the commitment, kind of family atmosphere in general that we have at our department.
Thank you. And Kevin, why do you think people from the police and sheriff's department are leaving Hastings? Your 2 minutes begin now.
I believe some of them leave as a once young officer moving to a larger department. That is what many of them are doing, is going to larger departments. There's pay increases, there's training increases, there's bonuses for hiring in many agencies. Even some of the smaller agencies are giving some nice hiring bonuses. I think that's part of it. And then inherently there is a number of, and I don't remember what the percentage is, but the percentage that officers get into it, and then after a few years, sometimes it's burnout and they just leave the career. And I believe that's part of it.
Thank you very much. We have come to our point in the evening for closing statements. You will have 1 minute to give your closing statement, and we will go in reverse order of how we opened. So we will start with our sheriff's candidates, and we will start with Heath Lemke. Heath, your 1 minute begins now.
Again, I'm born and raised here in Hastings. I've dedicated my career to this city. I've chosen to serve in capacities outside the one that I get paid to. And I think I have the support and the loyalty of the department. I think they have in general, want me to lead them moving forward. So I'd appreciate your vote May 12th.
Thank you. Next up, sheriff candidate Kevin Mock. Kevin, your minute begins now.
I have been on the department for 35 years in many different variety of tasks and appointments. The last 7 have been with administration under the direction of Sheriff Rust. And I started my career in law enforcement 38 years ago in a smaller department, and I came here and have been here since, and I enjoy the work, and I believe I have a good working relationship with a lot of the public, and I would just appreciate your vote May 12th.
Thank you. Here we go. Thank you. And we will move to the county assessor's candidates. Jake Jarzinka, your 1 minute for a closing statement begins now.
I believe that fair and accurate assessment of property, really helps both families and businesses to better budget and plan their budget out. I fully believe in doing things the right way, accurately, and honestly. I appreciate everyone's vote on May 12th. And are we all waiting for the same plane here? Thank you.
And county assessor candidate Angel Murtaugh, your 1 minute begins now.
I want to thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight, and I want to thank Adams County for the opportunity to serve you. I believe that this position is not something that you can learn as you go. It takes leadership, knowledge, and experience to run this office. There are many facets to the assessor's office besides the appraisal part. I bring all of those facets to the office. I have stepped into this role. I stepped in not for the title, but for the job and to do the work. And I think I've proven that right now in the short amount of time that I've been here. Thank you, and I would appreciate your vote in May 12th.
Okay, with that, that is the conclusion of our candidate forum. Thank you again to all of our candidates for coming out tonight, and thank you to all of you for joining us and getting informed. We invite you to join us again tomorrow for our next evening with the candidate events, where we are going to be hearing from our county commissioner candidates. We will also be hosting additional forums for our city council candidates on April 7th, April 8th, and April 15th at 6 p.m. here at Hastings Municipal Airport. Be sure to watch our Hastings Area Chamber of Commerce newsletter or Facebook page for additional updates and details with our upcoming candidate events. A big thank you to Hastings Municipal Airport for letting us use this facility tonight, as well as to all of our volunteers who are able to help us out tonight as well. We encourage you to keep getting engaged with our candidates. If you'd like to hang around afterwards and talk to our candidates who are here tonight, we encourage you to do so. But most importantly, don't forget to get out and vote. Early voting begins Monday, April 6th, and the primary election will be held through May 12th. So thank you again. We also have Hastings Public Access here, so if you would like to rewatch the forum or share it with anybody, it will be available on the Hastings Public Access channel. Otherwise, thank you for coming and have a great evening.